had the most unusual dream the other night. Well, I think it was a dream. It's hard to say. I dreamt that I was on a trail ride. I was just minding my own business, enjoying the birds and the trees, listening to the sounds of nature, when suddenly, out of nowhere, I saw a wild herd of horses. I was in shock. They were absolutely beautiful. There were two in the middle that I knew I had heard about before, Spirit and Rain. I mean, we've all seen the movie, right? Stallion of the Cimarron. But here he was, in the wild. But the thing is that he was being really protective of Rain. I mean, understandably, but there was this one black stallion that kept charging at me, really wanted to keep my horse away. I tried to follow them, but I couldn't keep up with them, so I ended up losing them. I started feeling dizzy after I saw them, so I decided to head back to the ranger station just to make sure I was okay. But then something else happened. Whenever I returned home, I kept having dreams about the herd of horses. So I decided to venture out again to see if I could maybe find them. I looked everywhere, but I decided finally I would just give up. Maybe it was just an illusion that I saw of Spirit and Rain and their pack of wild horses. Just for fun, I decided to retrace my steps of where I had actually seen the herd. I never expected to find what I found. I was just riding along the trails, not even following their hoof prints because they had already faded away in the grass. But for some reason, I had this strong urge to look down below. And that's when I saw her. There she was, Rain, running with a foal. I quickly tried to gallop after them, not really knowing where I was headed, taking dangerous turns and falls with my horse. But as soon as I turned, I saw her. I backed my horse up quickly because I did not want to scare her. And I watched very quietly as she explored this cave with her foal. I didn't want to follow behind her on horseback, so I decided to hop off and keep my distance. Then they just take off running. I quickly started chasing after them. I figured they wouldn't be able to hear me if they were also galloping too. As soon as we got down to the grasses, I thought I lost them. They disappeared into the thick of the woods. I had no idea where they went. But then something caught my eye. Underneath a tree root, I could see them. I quickly ducked down. I did not want to scare them off this time, but I did want to creep closer just to see what they were up to. It looks like they had stopped at the water's edge. I watched them for a while. They stood very quietly at the water's edge, just watching the reflection of themselves in the water, taking cool, crisp sips. Then suddenly, Rain turned around in the direction that I was facing. Had she spotted me? Probably. Her senses are very strong. I mean, she's a horse. She's meant to notice her surroundings at all times. They started walking through the water. Still, I watched them. The foal kept very close to Rain's side. They started heading further and further down the riverbank. But then they stopped again at the water's edge. Unfortunately, I had to take the long way. I wanted to stay out of the water because I knew for sure they'd be able to hear my splashing. I tried to follow at all times. There they are, right there. They probably knew I was there, even though I thought I was being sneaky and doing a very good job hiding in the bushes. You can't fool a horse. A horse definitely knows what you're up to. Then they started taking off even more. I had to follow them. I noticed that they were going inside of a tree. I had been inside of there before, so I knew it was a dead end. There was nowhere else for them to go. So this was it. I could either block the entrance and take a really good look at them, or I could hide in the bushes again. I could see them. I decided to hide in front of the flowers. But I think the flowers were just way too strong. Some of the fragrance, maybe it was my allergies, because I just started sneezing. My eyes started to water, but I wanted to get a closer look. I wanted to. I was so close. There they were. I just wanted to see them, and they had nowhere else to go. My eyes were burning red, but I didn't care. I wanted to approach them, so I decided to just stand up and go for it. I started walking towards them, and as I got closer and closer, maybe they would let me approach. Maybe. I was right at the water's edge, and I took one step in. Rain turned and faced me. And then suddenly, she vanished. They were gone. They were right in front of my eyes and then completely disappeared. Was it an optical illusion? Had I made it up? There was nowhere for them to escape inside of the tree. If they had tried to climb these boulders, I would have seen, and a lot of the clovers would have been messed up from their hooves. But they were here, and now they were gone. It was such a rare, beautiful sight. I will never forget it. I suddenly started feeling very woozy again. My eyes were watering. I just felt really dizzy. It must have been the flowers. It must have been. Maybe I was allergic to them. I sneezed, and that's when everything went dark. When I woke up, I was standing at the hooves of the warrior guard. Get up right now, human. Huh? What? Where am I? What happened? Nothing. You're chasing this moose. Huh? What? No, that's not possible. Step away, human. Now. I was so confused. I knew the warrior guard wouldn't tell me anything. He's very protective over the lands. So I don't know. Was it just a dream? Was it just in my imagination? Is this just a roleplay vid? I guess I'll never know. But I know I will see you in my next video. Love, hearts, hugs, baby foals, and horses. Bye, you guys.